Axiom's Tech+Talent solution, combining AI-powered legal tech with Axiom AI lawyers, operating under client supervision and direction. Here's Axiom's AI lawyer, David O'Hara, who will show you how Axiom's AI Tech+Talent solution, working alongside your legal team, can help you use DraftPilot AI to speed contract markup by 40 to 60%. Here's David now.
Within DraftPilot, you can develop custom playbooks that our AI legal talent at Axiom can use under your direction to easily review and mark up the contracts. Let's assume that your team that we're collaborating with just received a third-party paper to review a SaaS agreement. Axiom Talent can use the information defined by your legal team in their custom playbooks to easily review any issues with you and create an action plan under your direction to mark up the contract. In this instance, let's explore an example SaaS MSA playbook. The playbook is written out in natural language. When applied, DraftPilot will quickly generate suggested red lines that Axiom Talent can then review with you to determine how to move forward. DraftPilot is now rapidly reviewing the contract and applying the logic to suggest red lines in order to accelerate the review process. As an example, let's look at the fees and payment section. You'll see that DraftPilot has quickly identified a mismatch in the payment terms determined by your team. If this matches your playbook, which Axiom Talent reviews with your team, we can quickly mark up the contract under your direction. Once reviewed and approved by your team under your direction, Axiom Talent can also leave a comment for the opposing counsel to review. Working alongside your legal team, we're now able to move on to any other mismatches found by the DraftPilot tool, review the information, and come up with a plan of action with your team to move forward. Let's demonstrate how Axiom Talent, in partnership with your legal department, can redraft a selection rapidly with some basic prompting. In this example, let's look at a limitation of liability that is extremely one-sided and only protects the licensor. Working alongside your legal team, Axiom Talent can prompt DraftPilot to make this entire section mutual. DraftPilot is going to review this clause and make some suggestions as to how to change this language in order to make it mutual. Instead of requiring someone on your team to manually sift through and flag nuanced language, DraftPilot quickly identifies the relevant areas, enabling Axiom Talent, in partnership with your legal team, to efficiently mark them up and move on to the next section. The Generate Clause tool enables your team to quickly create and insert a new clause that isn't already included in any of your existing playbooks. Your team can give the tool some basic context. Let's revisit this SaaS agreement and assume that your team is still the customer. Let's imagine your team would like to add an audit clause that allows you to audit the accuracy of invoices that are coming in. With another basic prompt, DraftPilot is taking a first approach to drafting a new clause from scratch. This creates a great starting point for Axiom Talent, with your guidance, to generate a new audit clause for this agreement. If this reflects what your team is willing to work with, you can insert the clause where appropriate within the contract and quickly move on to the next section in question. Now let's explore how Axiom Talent can use DraftPilot, working alongside your legal team, to generate pushback on compromising language simply by describing the situation within the tool. Let's take a look at a one-sided obligation on the subscriber. With your guidance, Axiom Talent can give the tool some context as to who you are, the position that the opposing counsel is taking, and generate some pushback. So here, this clause is one-sided and creates a burden for the subscriber. So simply by pasting the clause in to provide additional context, DraftPilot will quickly generate not only a justification comment, but also some suggested compromise language. Axiom Talent can now work with your team to review this language and insert the updated text within the agreement as needed. Let's look at the Summarize feature. It creates an executive summary that Axiom Talent can use under your guidance to quickly outline the contract's key points. This tool can summarize every heading or a subset of those headings. In this instance, let's imagine your team wants to focus on these 5 terms. DraftPilot is now scanning the contract from start to finish, reviewing the contract for the concepts. This tool has generated a summary in less than 30 seconds, focusing on term, termination, renewal, indemnification, and limitations of liability. Your team can now copy this data into whatever format you'd like and share this information with any stakeholders. The Definitions tool quickly locates all instances of defined terms across an agreement so that your team can review that information quickly and easily. This is especially useful during contract disputes or in times when your team needs to locate every instance a defined term appears in the document. The Issues Report tool highlights any section of the agreement that may be in conflict with your legal team's playbook. This tool will summarize all conflicting sections of the agreement into a table format. This gives Axiom Talent working with your team the ability to identify any mismatches in the agreement. This tool is very helpful because it allows your legal team to quickly and easily identify the overall level of risk within the agreement. The Issues Report is created in 30 seconds or less. DraftPilot is reviewing the document clause by clause. The tool is identifying any issues within the clause and gives a recommendation of how to address them. The tool has no issues with the agreement until it reaches the subscriber use. The tool has generated suggested changes for your legal team to review before addressing them in the document.
While this technology is designed to accelerate the contract markup process, DraftPilot works best when operated by Axiom lawyers who've been trained specifically to work with your legal team to optimize the tool's capabilities, customizing playbooks, interpreting results, and applying judgment where AI simply can't. If you're frustrated with your current contract review process, legal bottlenecks, slow turnaround times, and assigning your team to do non-strategic work, the combination of AI tech and talent from Axiom will help remove the bottleneck in your process, increase efficiency, and get your lawyers back on strategic work. Visit axiomlaw.com to learn more.